Calling all units, calling all units. Donut shop has a fresh dozen. Go ahead and take a 1040.
Is it now easier to talk to people having an audience on social media?
Well, I don't think anything's easy when it comes to getting yourself out there. Like, you still, to a degree, like we were talking before we started, you still have to be consistent. Yeah. You still have to be creative. I think now more than ever, people say, all you have to do is, prank somebody and you get the million.
Sure.
You still, to a degree, you still have to have, you still have to be creative. There's so much static.
Yeah.
That you still have to be unique enough to stand out.
Yeah.
I just think that's what it was for me. I loved acting. I loved movies. So when I did sketches, I loved the Chappelle Show. Yeah, I loved Steve Martin. I loved Chaplin, Richard Pryor. I mean, Lucille Ball. I grew up with these very,
characters.
These characters that were so well developed and changed the world, really, that when I got into starting to do sketches, I was like, that's the approach I got to take. I'm not just going to be a Cuban doctor and just say a bunch of like stereotypical Cuban shit. Yeah. I'm going to be an actual doctor and handle it the way my doctor handled me when I would go and say, oh, I'm having anxiety or whatever, And it took off that way.
Yeah.
People saw that was more than just a character. That really looked like a person.
Yeah. They could relate that.
Yeah.
I know somebody who's like that when they do the Flintstones.
Right, and they
like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're like, why did you? So gross. Why are you cleaning? Yeah.
My wife's first gyno was like that. Guy wouldn't wear gloves. He was like exactly like that.
Super weird thing.
Wouldn't wear gloves. Okay,
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about.
You know how much it bothered him because it's still my wife's first gyno. We had to change gynos because.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
He ended up. He was gone. And he no. I get this person to call. It's no problem. He had somebody come in lieu of him.
What a weird.
He was
moment,
there
dude.
the entire time when she was pregnant. Okay, I'm gonna say. Let me put it out there that she was pregnant. Okay?
Yeah.
It wasn't like he would just show up no gloves. The guy was like, "Hey, is this guy gonna wear gloves?"
Like Dr. Nick from The Simpsons or whatever.
Yeah.
Is this guy gonna wear gloves?
Yeah.
And he said that he did this thing where he can turn the baby, right? He can do this and he can turn the baby. He did every like mannerism. The thing was the mannerisms.
Yeah. Very expressive.
The knocking and everything.
Very physical.
Yeah, and he was that. So when I see the Cuban doctor, I'm rolling because I'm like, that's the way that your gynecologist was.
Well, that was. I've never heard that one, but damn.
I'm just telling you what
no.
So
But that's
now your doctor has a specialty that you can really
the gyno. Yeah.
Well, he said he could turn the baby from the outside, obviously, with his hands like this, and I had to do this thing with the baby. I did it one time, and he did this whole thing with he could turn the baby on his own. He didn't need anything.
So you obviously changed after you got this explanation, right?
My wife's Cuban from Cuba.
Oh,
she's like he could do it. He can do it. He can do it. I was like. Babe, I don't feel comfortable.
I believe him.
It is what it is. It is what it is. She's like, I seen more.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people had their own. It's like a song. You hear it, and people have their own interpretation of it or whatever. A lot of people with a lot of my characters always, it's either they know either a family member or they had a doctor like that or a family friend acts like that. Yeah. So that became my thing. I think a lot of people started relating to my content, and in turn, they felt like they knew me.
Yeah.
So they felt comfortable with me just being me.
Yeah.
And I think that's what little by little started growing my following. But what I quickly realized, and having had a mother that was, into the arts, what we used to talk about, and not because of me, it's just the way she used to see things is like, damn, Urkel. You know what I'm saying? Damn, he's forever now Urkel.
Yep.
He can't get out of that role.
Carlton.
And out Carlton, Lucy, just certain characters that people come up with that are just forever that character.
Pee Wee Herman.
And Pee Wee Herman, dude, he's like 80, still writing by and
hilarious, by the way. Have you ever seen him do stand up?
No, I haven't.
Watch his HBO special. He has adult jokes with the kiddies. Hilarious. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain there's certain characters just always forever stay stuck
Yeah.
in time like that. And when I started getting popular or even getting called up on stage as the Cuban Doctor, I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna
Pigeonhole,
be
bro.
it's gonna be one of those things where even locally, not that it became a which it kind of did. I mean, a lot of people from everywhere started writing to me, but I was like, I don't want to be locally known as the Cuban Doctor.
Yeah.
Because you could write that for only so long. I mean, you know, it's just, I know I could offer more. I know I could do more. And so what kind of started happening was people felt like I fell off a little. You know, people that really didn't appreciate the development of what I was doing were like, yeah, that's cute, dude, but clear your throat and say some nasty shit or, you know, be a doctor again.
Yeah.
And I took a hit with that, you know, because people that signed up for the Doctor wanted to see the Doctor every time I came out.
Andy Kaufman. You ever seen?
Of course.
You've seen The Man on the Moon when he's doing it.
Yeah.
And they're telling him to do the other thing, and he starts reading Shakespeare.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it is.
I started throwing curveballs, and then I did some baseball dads because I knew some dads that wanted their as kids. And his kids sucked.
Yeah.
But it was just he wanted to be in the Marlins, growing up, or in the Yankees or whatever. So I started making fun of that, and then a weatherman, and then I started doing these characters, and though they were still Miami-esque, if you will, they were different.
Yeah.
And then eventually, when I was like, you evolve. You feel a moment where you like, I gotta switch it up. Then I started rapping and I started making music and I created a character, and then I started doing voiceovers. When I felt like I hit somewhere, I started doing voiceovers, and that took off. And so I've always felt like the people that really do follow me. What was one of the coolest things for me was in the beginning when people would see me out in the streets or whatever, would be like, oh, that's the Cuban Doctor, right? Now they go, hey, that's Mario Ramil. That's the comedian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that I feel is, I took the hit early on, but now, like you're talking about Facebook, I have 160,000, whatever. I could have maybe had more if I would have stuck to it, but the people that do follow me are with me when I do rap or make music or whatever, because they see the artist, and I hate the term, but the artist behind all the gimmicks and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? They see like, oh, this guy's an actual comic. He's an actual creative, He's not just doing the gimmicks to get the likes and the views,
Hey, what's up, guys? If you like that clip, go over and check out the full episode at Donut Shop Podcasts. Link is down below in the description.